You can sign up new customers every single week, watch your revenue climb on the good days, feel like the business is finally working, and still be shrinking. It happens when money leaves out the back door faster than it arrives at the front, and the totals on your dashboard are too polite to tell you. The SaaS quick ratio is the one number that puts both flows side by side and asks a blunt question: are you adding revenue faster than you are losing it? Today I want to explain what the quick ratio is, how to work it out from numbers you already have, what a reading above or below 1 really means, and where it quietly falls apart for a very small business. I run a handful of small subscription businesses myself, and this is one of the numbers I keep an eye on because it catches a problem the headline totals hide. I am not reporting to a board, and I am not selling you a growth secret. I am the person who sits down with a spreadsheet, adds up what I won and what I lost, and tries to see the business honestly. So this is the plain version, the way I would explain it to a friend running their first subscription product, including where the number can fool you. What the quick ratio actually is. The SaaS quick ratio measures how efficiently your recurring revenue is growing. The formula is short. You take all the recurring revenue you added this period, then divide it by all the recurring revenue you lost in it. The money you added is your new revenue from fresh customers plus your expansion revenue from existing customers who upgraded or bought more. The money you lost is your churn revenue from customers who cancelled plus your contraction revenue from customers who downgraded but stayed. Added over lost. That single fraction is your quick ratio. The four numbers you already have. Those four pieces are not new inventions. They are the same parts of the IMER waterfall that anyone tracking monthly recurring revenue already breaks out. New IMER and expansion IMER are the two ways your revenue grows. Churned IMER and contraction IMER are the two ways it shrinks. The quick ratio just stacks the growing forces on top of the shrinking ones. So instead of watching four figures wobble separately, you get one honest read on which side is winning. If you already keep a waterfall, you have everything you need to compute it. What a reading actually means. A quick ratio of exactly 1 means you are treading water. For every dollar of recurring revenue you added, you lost a dollar elsewhere, so your total sits still no matter how busy the month felt. Above 1 means you are growing, you added more than you lost. Below 1 means you are shrinking, you lost more than you won, even if your marketing looks like it is working. The further above 1 you climb, the more efficiently you grow, because more of the revenue you win actually sticks, rather than just replacing something that walked out the back. A worked example, let me put round numbers on it so it stays concrete. And please treat these as an illustration, not a benchmark for your business. Say that over 1 month you added $400 of new recurring revenue from fresh signups and another $200 of expansion revenue from customers who upgraded. That is $600 gained. In the same month, you lost $300 to customers who cancelled outright and another $100 to customers who downgraded. That is $400 lost. Your quick ratio is 600 divided by 400, which is 1.5. You added revenue 1.5 times faster than you shed it, and your net new recurring revenue for the month was $200. The front door and the back door. Here is what makes this number worth the trouble. Two businesses can post the exact same net new revenue and be in completely different health, and the quick ratio is what tells them apart. Imagine a second business that also ended the month up $200, but it got there by winning $800 of new and expansion revenue while losing $600 to churn and contraction. Its quick ratio is 800 divided by 600, roughly 1.3. Same $200 of net growth, but this one had to win 4 times as much just to bank it, because it was leaking most of it straight back out. The first business is growing, the second is running hard to stand almost still. Why the net number hides this? This is exactly the blind spot the quick ratio fixes. If you only watch your ending total, or even just your net new revenue, both of those businesses look identical, up $200, a nice month. The single total cannot tell a clean gain from a frantic one. The quick ratio can, because it never lets the losses hide inside the net. It puts the leak in the denominator, where a large number drags the whole ratio toward 1 no matter how strong your new sales look. Below 1 is the warning. The reading you never want to ignore is a quick ratio under 1. It means that in that period you lost more recurring revenue than you added, so the business shrank, full stop, however many new customers you celebrated. You can have your best ever month for new signups and still land below 1. because a wave of cancellations or downgrades on your existing customers swamped everything the new ones brought in. When the ratio slips under 1, that is the signal to stop admiring the front door and go look hard at the back. Contraction counts, not just cancellations. One detail people skip is that both kinds of loss go in the denominator, not just outright cancellations. A customer who drops from your $50 plan to your $20 plan did not leave, but they took $30 of recurring revenue with them. And that contraction belongs in the losses just like a full cancellation does. Leaving downgrades out flatters the ratio and hides a real form of leakage, the slow kind where nobody churns but everybody quietly spends less. The same goes at the top. Expansion counts alongside brand new customers because $1 from an upgrade is as real as one from a stranger. What a healthy number looks like. People always want a target, and you will hear a quick ratio of around 4 thrown about as the mark of a strong, fast-growing software business. Treat any single benchmark with care. A number like that came from a particular kind of company at a particular stage, and yours may look nothing like it. For a small operator, I care far less about hitting someone else's figure, and far more about two simpler things. Am I comfortably above 1? And is my ratio trending up or down over recent months? Your own direction is a more honest teacher than a benchmark borrowed from a business that shares none of your reality. Where it breaks for a small business, now the honest limits, because this is where a very small business has to be careful. The quick ratio is a fraction, and fractions get wild when the numbers feeding them are tiny. If you only have a handful of customers, a single cancellation can double your denominator and send the ratio lurching from healthy to alarming on the strength of one person leaving for one personal reason. The math is not wrong. It is just being asked to describe something too small and too noisy to sit still, and it will swing hard from month to month while telling you very little. The divide by almost nothing problem. There is a sharper version of that problem. In a quiet month, you might lose no recurring revenue at all. No cancellations and no downgrades. Your denominator is 0. And dividing by 0 does not hand you a brilliant score. It hands you a number that means nothing. Even losing just a few dollars can throw up an enormous ratio that looks spectacular and says nothing real about the business. So when the losses are very small, the quick ratio stops being informative, and reading triumph into a huge or undefined number is just another way to fool yourself. Use a longer window when you are small. The fix for both problems is patience with the window. The smaller you are, the longer the period you should measure over. A single month with 20 customers is mostly noise, but a full quarter smooths out the one-off departures and gives the ratio enough events to mean something. I would rather read a clear quarterly quick ratio than jump at a monthly one that leaps around every time one customer changes their mind. With small numbers, trust the direction over several months and distrust any single month's figure, however dramatic it looks. What the quick ratio cannot tell you, and here is the limit that holds even when your numbers are big enough. The quick ratio measures the efficiency of growth, nothing more. It says nothing about whether that growth is profitable, what it cost you to win those customers, or why the ones who left decided to go. A business can post a lovely quick ratio and still lose money on every sale because its acquisition costs are out of control. The ratio also says nothing about size. A tiny business and a large one can show the exact same reading. It is one honest gauge of one specific thing, never a verdict on the whole business. How to track it yourself? Tracking this needs no special software. If you already keep a monthly waterfall with columns for new, expansion, contraction, and churned recurring revenue, add 2 more columns. One adds new and expansion together, the other adds contraction and churn together, and the ratio is the first divided by the second. Fill it in every month with the same definitions, and after a few months you have a trend line that shows whether your growth is getting cleaner or leakier over time. The mistakes to avoid? A few mistakes show up again and again. The first is leaving contraction out of the losses, so downgrades never count and the ratio looks healthier than the business really is. The second is trusting a single monthly number when you are too small for 1 month to mean anything. The third is chasing a borrowed benchmark instead of your own trend. And the fourth is treating a high ratio as proof the business is healthy, when it only ever spoke about the efficiency of growth and stayed silent on profit, cost, and everything else that keeps the lights on. Where to go from here? If this made the quick ratio click into place as a simple growth efficiency gauge, That is exactly what I am going for. Every one of these explainers lives in writing at dataresearchanalysiscollection.com, the whole metric library, in plain English, so you can come back to this one with your own waterfall in front of you and work the ratio out on your real numbers. No hype, no promises about your results, just the numbers explained clearly enough that you can make your own call. So to recap, the SaaS quick ratio is your added recurring revenue divided by your lost recurring revenue, new plus expansion over churn plus contraction. Above 1 you are growing, below 1 you are shrinking, and the higher it climbs, the more efficiently you grow. Its real gift is exposing a business that wins revenue at the front door while leaking it out the back, which the net total alone will always hide. Count downgrades as losses, watch your own trend rather than a borrowed benchmark, and be patient with the number when you are small, because 1 month and a handful of customers make it swing wildly. And remember, it measures only how efficiently you grow, never whether that growth is profitable. Next time, I want to look at the North Star metric, the single number a business chooses to steer by, and how to pick one without fooling yourself. See you in the next one.